They are mourning Derrick Chauvin. Oh my goodness. So one thing that I find funny now is when Republicans say, hey, Democrats, they're the real racists, Lucas. You need to understand that. They're the real racists. And at face value, you'd think, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, they do some trifling stuff. But then upon further analysis, if you actually look at what they're saying, it's mind-boggling. Because what they're saying is it's not a refutation of them being racist. By saying, hey, they're the real racists, they're not refuting that Republicans are racist. What they're simply doing is using Democrats as scapegoats. They're saying, hey, we're racist, but those guys are really racist. So at the end of the day, this is a beautiful transition to this Derrick Chauvin incident. And for those of you who haven't heard, and I'm sure you have by now, Derrick Chauvin, how do I put this in a friendly manner? He was poked by a sharp object. That's correct. Okay. Now, if Derrick Chauvin had passed from this poking of a sharp object, I would say that, hey, we don't know if Chauvin had been bleeding profusely before he was poked. Okay. Because in their head, he could have actual, terminal cancer. It could be game over for him. And if he had been poked, all right, in prison, well, obviously the person who poked him wouldn't be at fault because he had terminal cancer. He was going to die. It was imminent that he was going to die because he had terminal cancer. That's the type of logic that they're putting upon us. Now, I want you to even take a second and think about what we're doing. We are relitigating the case of George Floyd. That's what these demons have us doing. And think about the type of wickedness. I want you to really think about this because it really doesn't hit a lot of people. When I say lineage of evil, there are pictures out there where you have a whole bunch of racist white people smiling, laughing, joking around, just have, big old smiles on their face, showing teeth. And there is a black person swinging from a tree. I need you to understand, those people didn't go anywhere. Do you get that? The people in that picture went on to have offspring. And their offspring went on to have offspring. And you have a whole lineage of evil. Those people, they're here with us right now. They're in the court system. They're in the policing. They're in the lawyers. They're doctors. They're nurses. Okay, they're your managers. They're your customers. Those people in those pictures, you need to understand they still exist. And I think this is the problem with many black people today is that you have a bunch of people who say all this stuff. Hey, we're living in a country of white supremacy. Hey, there's a war on black people. But many black people don't actually believe it. It hasn't knocked on your front door. It's not really tangible. It's not a tangible fear that you can really put your teeth into. So when you get cases like this, especially for me, it's refreshing, right? It's like having assaults right in front of your nose. Okay, now I understand what's taking place. Because they are mourning Derrick Chauvin. They are saying, hey, this is horrible. This is sad that this is happening to Derrick Chauvin. Now, any non-racist white person, along with everyone else, is going, good riddance. That's what's happening. The John Browns of the world, and I would say there are few and far between, they're saying good riddance. This guy was scum. Why do I care? What else is going on in the world? But you have to understand that there are these individuals that are saying, hey, this is horrible. He's a political prisoner. Think about that. Think about that. Think about the sickness that these individuals have. They are so anti-black. They despise black people so much that they are willing to defend a state soldier, which was caught on camera, admitted guilt, sentenced, right? Went to a jury. It's not like there was mob justice like they're used to. He went to court, found guilty, and they are still saying, hey, this guy doesn't belong there. This is horrible. To the point where they're actually starting a GoFundMe, not a GoFundMe because that was banned, but they're starting essentially a GoFundMe of collecting money for this dude's legal fees. I want you to understand that. In addition to that, you have the Sambos, because they have a network of Sambos that promote their anti-black propaganda. Case in point with Candace Owens. And she put out her George Floyd documentary, which I debunked. I suggest you check it out because the video is nothing but propaganda. And I want you to understand that propaganda is funded by who? White racists. I don't care if they have a small hat on their head or not. I don't care if it's Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh. They both the same to me. You have to understand this white victimhood complex, this feeds into it. And that's just good for business. You have to realize that these individuals, some of them are wicked, absolutely wicked, but many of them are also just simple-minded. They're feeble-minded, low IQ individuals. Because when we have situations like this, the hypocrisy of this event is startling, okay? It is just a big megahorn just screaming at you. Because you have this person who's being treated so favorable. They actually went and focused on the people rioting and protesting the death as opposed to protesting the person and the system that allowed for this to happen. That's how wicked these individuals are. That's, mind you, when they talk about BLM was in response to, as far as the brutality that was befalling a group of people. You have to understand that. They managed to, as far as put the spotlight on that and not the actual problem. They get to have their cake and eat it too with this Derrick Chauvin situation. Mind you, what did Derrick Chauvin do? He took a black life. That's what he did. Now you have people who are praising this, right? You have reenactments where they're doing on the Capitol Hill, mocking this black victim. That's what they were doing. You had there, as far as their pit bulls like Candace Owens and whatnot, trying to dig up any dirt and use that as justification. Hey, this guy was morally evil, even though that happened decades ago. Remember her talking about he did this to a pregnant woman? None of that true. Absolute bull crap. Just came up with the top of their head. Now, when it came to that, they applaud that. More recently, when her criticizing the Jews and all that, now it's, oh, that's not right. It's a nuanced position, Candace, you have to understand. But they got their pit bulls. They did everything and anything in their power to attack this person. That's what they did in order to uplift Derrick Chauvin. Not because he was an officer, but because he was white. You have to understand this. It has nothing to do with him being an officer. It has to do with him being white and the victim being black. And the reason why I say this, I'm not making it racial. I'm just making an observation. When you ask many of these white conservatives, hey, have you heard of Jared Lackey? Hey, have you heard of Ryan Whitaker? Hey, have you heard of Hunter Britton? None of them know who they are. None of them know. They have no clue, nor do they care. They take pleasure and feast upon black victims, okay? That's what you need to understand what you are dealing with. So now they get a W because now there's one less black person on planet Earth. But there's more. The wickedness doesn't stop there because now we then get to turn Derrick Chauvin into a victim. Now we get to say, hey, he's a political prisoner. And even though he's gone through the entire judicial process, the system that they reassure black people, when we complain, hey, this is a bullcrap outcome. That judge was biased. The jury is bullcrap. Nothing but white people on the jury. They reassure us, hey, the system works, Lucas. The system works. If you're a criminal and you're innocent, or if you're a criminal and you're actually guilty or you're alleged to be a criminal, okay, then the system works. But somehow, the system always works despite the outcome for black people. If you're guilty, even though you're innocent, well, it works. Or it has some kinks. No system is perfect. When it goes to a white person and the system doesn't work the way they want it to, which is innocent, they don't care if you're guilty, innocent, especially when they decide you're innocent in their mind. And there's any outcome that challenges that, then the system's broken. Then it's, hey, they're now attacking white people. And that's exactly what they did. They managed to make Derrick Chauvin some type of martyr, saying, oh, this is horrible what they're doing to his family. The jury did this due to fear of backlash. You have to understand, this is disgusting. We need to fight for this man. Think about that. They're defending someone who admitted guilt, said he was guilty, the evidence found that he was guilty, and they're still saying, nuh-uh, that's not right. When was the last time they did that for a black victim? You tell me. Did they do that to Breonna Taylor? No. It's the same process over and over. Elijah McClain. Botham Jean, they didn't even do that to. You have to understand the wicked and the evil that you're dealing with. So when I see people mourning Derrick Chauvin, it's like, once again, just, okay, got you. Now I understand what I'm dealing with. Now I understand the people and the animus that they have towards me and people who look like me. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, why you always make about race? He didn't do it, okay? The man, he died of fentanyl. That's what happened, Lucas, okay? That's what happened. That's what happened, all right? I don't care what anyone says, okay? You've gone woke. Or if you don't believe, we had a whole case. Expert testimony, right? The coroner even comes out. The man caused this individual's demise. That's what happened. He even admitted guilt. You can say whatever you want to say except the truth, because the truth doesn't align with what you want to happen. And the more we have that happen, the more maybe desensitized they'll get from their inferiority complex, this sense of entitlement. So all the good white people out there and all the good black and Asians, everyone else, keep doing what you're doing. Okay, keep doing what you're doing. We can win this fight. We absolutely can. Because this wickedness, it can't last. And it won't last. And that's what they're afraid of, as you can see. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days. They will be typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. I expect a lot of fragility in the comments, okay? People saying, oh, you're racist, what happened to you? I expect a lot of also intelligent comments, probably hinting and suggesting things that I may have missed in my analysis of this situation. And feel free to subscribe. And all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.